Namaste, friends. We have heard about the corporate jihad of TCS in Nasik. We have heard how a group of Muslim men had targeted a set of women, Hindus, all of them, a set of women they had targeted and tried to convert them, in between exploiting them sexually and grooming them, radicalizing them, and making them pass through extreme pain and extreme tormenting situations. I've heard that incident. This particular news is taking the media and social media in storms these days. The HR manager of TCS Nasik, Nida Khan, is also to be arrested, as much as we know, if she hasn't already been arrested. And the other people, the accused Muslim men, also have been taken in custody. And this is going on. This incident is going on for quite some long time. Finally, the gang has been arrested and they are in custody. Now, people are presenting this news, and many journalists and many other people, the eminent people, they are demanding a very strong law against such conversion rackets and such jihad gangs and grooming gangs, etc. Those who are targeting the women in the corporates also. And there are offices, there are corporates in different cities like Hyderabad, where the women are being employed, only Hindu women are being employed. Muslim women are also being employed, but Muslim women are not being targeted, while employing men, only the Muslim men are being employed, and those Muslim men are targeting the Hindu women in the office, and these are being carried out in a methodical manner. Now the point is, so people are now crying for a very strong law, not only the state-wise law, but a central anti-conversion law. We definitely need it because Bharat is a secular country, where conversion should not be allowed at all. Conversion should not be allowed, and the people who converted from Indic faith can come back. Ghar wapasi should not be considered as conversion, because the conversion was the particular the act of changing from their original Indic faith to some other faith was the act of conversion. So this should not be allowed in Bharat, because Bharat is a secular country. As far as we are, as long as we are secular, we didn't bother about the religion of any person, and all our rules and regulations and laws are absolutely secular. We should not be a country where conversion should be allowed. And as far as our constitution is concerned, Article 25 gives right to people to propagate their religion, but propagation does not mean conversion at all. Propagation just means talking about your religion. Talking about your religion and rituals. That is propagation. Conversion is not propagation, and conversion should not be allowed in Bharat. Of course, we need a central law against conversion. However, such targeting of women, we definitely need a very strong legislation, no doubt about that. However, is a strong legislation enough to stop all these nuisances and all these crimes against women? I think, this is my personal opinion, that at the same time, the awareness of women is the most important and the most vital aspect to prevent such crimes. To prevent such crimes, on one hand, law is mandatory. It is indispensable. A strong law is indispensable. At the same time, no less important is the consciousness of women. Consciousness And vulnerability of women. Why are our women being vulnerable? When we worship our goddesses are empowered entities. We imagine them extremely empowered. And then when we invoke them, when we do puja, we invoke them in ourselves. But in our personal life, we are vulnerable. How is that possible? If we are vulnerable, then it is the women who have to identify their points of vulnerability. Why are the women, which women are falling for such dangers? And why are they falling for such dangers? Who are the women who had been targeted? We have also seen in the Kerala story too. The movie has depicted the cases of three girls. One of the girls were minor. She was really a minor, less than 16 years of age, and she wanted to make reels, and then her Muslim boyfriend told her that you want to make reels, you can make reels also in short clothes. I will give you that liberty. Come with me. So that was a very minor girl, and she had fallen for that veiled promises and vain promises, and she had been, and finally she had to die. But why aren't we teaching our children, our girls, from the very childhood that there are wicked people around us who are mischievous or rogues, who are want to target them and want to really there are not, like, amongst many good people there can be one such rogue, one such mischievous persons. And why aren't we really grooming them in a way so that she can invoke the feminine power within herself from the very childhood? Why aren't we really introducing her in that thought process? Why aren't we placing her on that frame of mind from the very childhood? Are we doing that? So that's one question. And then the other case, the second girl who had been depicted in the Kerala story, that girl, the boy came as a Hindu boy. And that's why the girl had fallen. But in that case also, the girl had married the boy without letting her parents know, by being forced by the boy. Now, why aren't our girls aware that no good boy would ever force a girl to marry him, keeping her parents in darkness? However the parents may be. Maybe we even may know that the parents won't allow me to marry my love, marry for love. But even in that case, definitely it cannot be done by a child to keep the parents in darkness and marry. Like, at least the girl child should have written a letter for her parents, inform them that she was going to marry that day, marry for love. The parents would have remained informed. And the third case has been shown, a case of a secular family, and that girl finally understood and admitted her fault and committed suicide. So we are seeing the vulnerability of women, various kinds of vulnerability. In TCS corporate jihad case too, the women were targeted. Some women who had problematic married life, some women who couldn't conceive even many years after marriage. And so those women had been targeted, specifically targeted. So definitely those women had discussed their personal lives in the office, and that was capitalized. Now my question is, why should women discuss their personal lives in the office? Because these are absolutely private matters. In a person's life, there can be hardly one such friend to whom we can confide such absolute private incidents of the life. Then why is it, how could the office people, the Nasik TCS people, the Muslim men, how could they track those stories of their lives? So there must be some points of vulnerabilities of the women which the women must get rid of. It is absolutely necessary, because if we want to empower the women, we must make women accountable to the society. We have many laws against men. Where are laws against erring women? In many cases, the fault is of the woman, not in these cases. In many other cases, the women lodges false cases against men in case of marital conflicts. Do our courts, do we have a strong law to for against people who raises false allegations? Do we have a very strong law against false allegations? When are we going to make our women accountable to the society? The moment we have a law for erring women, number of crimes will come down suddenly. Because in that case, the women will know, if I go wrong, I also may be punished. At the present situation, women are being looked upon only as people to be protected by men. So women think they don't have any answerability to anyone. I can do no wrong. I will protect them. I'm supposed to be protected by the society. I'm not supposed to protect myself. The society is supposed to protect myself. So I have no answerability to anyone. And that's why I can take any steps, and I can say anything, I can mix up with anyone. I don't have to think. So this thoughtlessness on the part of the women are leading to a lot of crimes. So I think this is time that we try to induct our women to the right frame of mind. We reduce their vulnerability, and we truly empower them by making them answerable and accountable to the society in terms of law too. That's one absolutely necessary, apart from having strong legislations against such kind of crimes like corporate jihad and conversions and various types of conversions. Apart from such a legislation, we want to reduce the vulnerability of women also from their end. Thank you very much.